Hi, this is Colleen Welsh, and I'm here to talk to you for the next 5 to 6 minutes or so about bringing open educational resources to Southwestern Michigan College. Why should we start exploring OERs as a supplement or even replacement for SMC's course textbooks? The College Board estimates that the cost of books and supplies for community colleges for this school year is $1,460. At SMC, our cost of attendance is $1,722 or $861 per semester. While our number sounds much more reasonable than the average, with the cost of in-district tuition at SMC being $5,257, our students still spend 25% of their cost to attend SMC on textbooks. So, with our students spending $7,000 per year at SMC, you probably see the situation every semester where a student tells you that they cannot afford the textbook. In a 4-year-old survey, we learned that the high cost of textbooks is negatively impacting student access, success, and completion. They found that the cost of textbooks is negatively impacting student access to your required materials. Almost 67% did not purchase the required textbook. The cost of textbooks is also affecting student learning. 37% earned a poor grade. Almost 20% failed a course due to lack of a textbook. Time to graduation and or access to courses is also impacted by cost. Students reported that 47% occasionally or frequently took fewer courses, and 26% even dropped a course when they learned what their course textbook costs. So the thing is, students can't learn from materials they cannot afford. With open educational resources out there, we can certainly do better to help our students. Step number 1 is where I come in to help you start exploring OERs. What is an OER? Although the idea of open educational resources existed before 2002, the official definition comes from UNESCO. Open educational resources are teaching, learning, and research materials in any medium that reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no-cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. One myth I want you to be aware of is that something that is labeled as open access is not an OER. Open access is something that anybody can get their hands on, but you do not have the rights to adapt or customize it, unlike an OER. With an OER textbook, you can download it and change as much or as little as you want to it. And as long as you give attribution to the original author, you can freely customize anything you want in the textbook and share it as much as you want. The 5R permissions of what defines an OER is that you can reuse the content, revise it, or mix it by combining new content with original, redistribute the work, and forever retain that work without an expiration date. So just to put it out there too, an OER isn't exclusively a textbook. If you go searching on our OER Commons site, you can find full courses, lesson plans, supplemental materials, modules, and even tests or quizzes for OER textbooks. So it seems like the benefits are pretty overwhelming, right? OERs are educator-driven. Faculty just like you create these resources. And the beauty of who can create them is that your content is no longer limited by the publisher. Now, the downsides of switching from a pricey publisher textbook is the time it will take you to research your textbook alternatives. I can certainly save you a lot of time by finding lots of resources for your perusal. But like with any new course creation, time will be spent scouring these textbook alternatives from cover to cover. Some textbooks have fantastic supplemental materials such as assessments and an instructor guide, but they're certainly more rare than what you can get from the publisher. Certain departments have an abundance of OER textbooks, such as sciences and the humanities, while other departments will have a harder time finding a plethora of resources, such as criminal justice, nursing, or IT. And don't forget that you don't have to require a textbook. I am seeing more and more SMC faculty relying off of readings that you can find in our databases to keep the textbook as an optional course purchase. You could also consider integrating TED Talks, podcasts, open access books, ebooks that you find through our Gale Virtual Reference Library database, or even through mel.org. So, if you're open to exploring what OER options are out there for you, the first step is to reach out to me. Last semester, I found OER options for 12 faculty and their 32 courses. You can also talk to your colleagues who already use OER, such as Anna Norris and Andrew Dome. To see what OERs I have already found for your department, check out SMC's OER Common site. Again, if you want to get started or just have some questions to ask, stop in the library, call me at extension 1204, or of course, email me at cwelsh@swmich.edu.